The 2020 holiday season is rapidly approaching. We all have a woodworker or maker that's a friend or family member that we want to get something for their shop, but we don't know exactly what to get them. In this video, I hope to provide you with a bunch of different options of great items that I really enjoy using in my shop that I think any woodworker or maker will enjoy. In this video, I am going to cover pricing. This pricing was what I got online from when I recorded this video in December of 2020. So prices might fluctuate depending on when you're watching this, but I will have links and descriptions to all the items below so you could actually go and see them. The way I plan to break up this video is into a few different sections that are broken down by price. The first one is going to be stocking stuffers. So this is just items around the $20 mark or under that I think are really great for the shop. So the first one I'm going to cover is the Pica pencils. I found a 2-pack on Amazon for $23. I really like the idea of having a 2-pack because it allows you to have 2 different colors. So I here have a regular pencil, and then this one is their white lead. And I really like their white lead for walnut and darker woods. And these are my favorite pencils. This is what I primarily use in the shop. The next one is going to be glue brushes. I got a few different options here from Rockler. So these are some smaller ones, some finer detail ones, as well as this kit. I found this kit on Amazon for $14.99. I think it's a great buy. There are also other brands out there. This is a Type Bond brush that I use frequently. The next one is an item that I actually don't have in here, but I think it's a great buy for the price. It's the Incra Tiny T-Square. If the person you're buying for doesn't have a lot of layout or marking tools, I think this one is very versatile, and especially at $18.88, it really is a great buy. The next one is going to be card scrapers. So I use card scrapers all the time. I think they work great in a hybrid woodworking shop as well as a hand tool only shop. It helps you with tear out and sanding, and they're just great. The one that I would recommend is the DMF card scraper. There's a 2-pack for $15.97. The reason why I'd go with this brand is it's very highly reputable, as well as it's another maker in our community that you're help supporting. The next one is a glue bot. So I just actually recently bought a brand new one to replace a broken one, and these are great. You could buy the larger jugs of glue, and it saves you, and the way it pours out on the project is phenomenal. The last one for the stocking stuffers is a fast cap tape measure, and this is the only brand of tape measures that I actually use in my shop. There's a bunch of different options out there, the righty lefty, the imperial metric. This one happens to be a flat one, so it doesn't have that little bend in it. So there's a bunch of different variations out there. This one is $9.99. And this pricing bracket, as well as the future ones, I'm going to break it down into 3 different tool groups: a beginner woodworker, a mostly hand tool, and a mostly power tool. So you can kind of tailor to what type of woodworker you're purchasing for. The first one is going to be the $50 to $100 range, and this is going to be for the beginning woodworker. This is the Bessie trigger clamps. This is by far one of my favorite clamps. I think they're very versatile. They're super easy to use with one hand, and I think they're a great buy. I found a 4-pack on Amazon for $40.99. The next one is going to be for mostly hand tool. For mostly hand tool woodworkers, I think a Starrett 6-inch combination square is a great buy. I found this one on Amazon for between $75 to $105, depending on which variation you get. The one I linked below, I believe, is the $75 one. This is the combination square I grabbed for pretty much all the time, and I love it. Dead accurate, and Starrett's a great company. The next one is actually going to be to make jigs. It's the MatchFit Dovetail Clamp Pro system. So in that system, you get 2 of their actual clamps, you get the router bit, and then you get a bunch of different stops, so you're able to make jigs. I've been using the MatchFit clamps more frequently in my shop, and the more I use them, the happier I am with them. They're just really great clamps, and you can make a lot of different jigs with them. For the table saw, bandsaw, I've even made a jig on my miter saw for them. So that finishes up the $50 to $100 range, and we'll move on to the $100 to $200 now. For the $100 to $200 price range, you can see I actually only have 2 tools up here. And the reason why is for the power tool section, I don't actually own the tool that I recommend. And so I'll start with that one. It's the Rockler drilling jig. They just came out with this, and right now you can purchase it for $149. I have ordered one, but it hasn't come in yet. I've talked to people that have had it and used it, and they love it. And from all the reviews I've read, it looks amazing. So this allows you to drill straight holes into items when you don't have a drill press. I think at $149, it's a great buy. The next section we'll do is the hand tools section. And so this is a Lee Nielsen number 102 low angle block plane. I think it's also called like an apron plane. It's a smaller block plane, but I love this. This is the plane that I actually grab for the most. It's super handy to get into small areas when you're fitting doors or drawers. I really like this plane. Can't say enough good things about it. The next tool is for the beginning woodworker, and it's the DeWalt trim router. I really like this router for a few different reasons. It has two different bases on it, so it has just the standard base, as well as you can buy the plunge base, and that's what I linked below. I think having the plunge base attachment really opens a lot of opportunity up for you. It's a cheaper router at about $150, but the nice thing is it has a lot of versatility. So you have the capabilities of doing larger operations, but in this smaller platform. The only downside is it only takes 1/4 inch router bits. It doesn't have the ability to use a 1/2 inch collet. But when you're starting out, I think it's a great router, and at that price, you really can't beat it. They do also have additional attachments you could buy for dust collection, but I think just the set for $150 is a great buy. The next price bracket is under $500, and we'll start with the beginning woodworker. When you're new, I think starting out with a platform, either DeWalt, Milwaukee, Makita, and sticking with that platform is a great idea. I think for a few different reasons, but the biggest is the interchangeability of the batteries. So now you only have one type of battery, you only have one charger, and if a battery goes dead, you can switch it out for another battery. The set I went with was a DeWalt, and these drills are about 8 years old. The rest of the set that I did get when I bought these, I've since sold off as I've grown in my woodworking. I don't typically use a circular saw or sawzall, and so I didn't really see the need for them in my shop. But I think when you're starting out, they're great tools to have. When I first started, I did most of my building using these two drills and a circular saw to cut down my material, and then I would join it with pocket holes. So the set I found was about $490. It was a DeWalt 9-piece set. It came with a drill, a driver, a circular saw, a sawzall, an angle grinder, a multi-tool, a right angle drill, a flashlight, and a stereo. So I think that's a great set, and it's a great company to get hooked up with. The 20-volt system works really well, and I really like it. I also think with those initial set of tools, you can do a lot of woodworking. And as you progress down this path, you can figure out what tools you like and what tools you don't like, and you can sell off those tools to buy other tools. For the hand tool woodworker, I would suggest the Bad Axe Dovetail saw. I love this saw. It's a great saw. It is pretty pricey. They start out at $245, and then based off the handle type, the back type, the coloring of the screws, the price does differ. But I think for the money, it is an amazing tool, and I use it pretty much every day I'm in the shop. I highly recommend it. And for the power tool woodworker, I would suggest the Festool ETS sander and the brand new edge attachment. So the sander is $205 and the edge attachment is $99. This edge attachment is phenomenal. I really like it. I was using it earlier. I just got it a few days ago, and it has performed flawlessly. And I think it really takes the sander to a whole nother level. And on top of it, you're getting a Festool quality sander to go with it. You can easily remove this edge guide and use it as your daily sander. The last section we're going over is the over $500 price range. These are really big ticket items that any woodworker or maker would love to get. So to start off, we'll go over the beginner woodworker. I think a track saw is a really great option. Here I have my Festool TS55. Now this is a very expensive saw, and I understand that, but this saw can do a lot. If you're starting out and you don't have access to a table saw, this allows you to accurately crosscut and rip, and it's really functional. Now, the Festool line is very expensive, and if you want to go with something cheaper, I would recommend the Makita version. Now, the reason why I would recommend the Makita is because the Makita uses the Festool track layout. So all the accessories that are compatible with the Festool will also work on the Makita. The DeWalt and other brands have a different style track. If you do end up going with the Festool one, I highly recommend that you get the set. The set comes with one track in it, and you get it at a pretty significant discount. Festool doesn't have a lot of discounts, so buying that set is one of the ways you can do it. The next is the hand tool woodworker. And for the hand tool woodworker, I recommend the PMV11 Veritas bench chisels. I've used a few different highly recommended bench chisels in the past, and I think the PMV11 steel is my favorite by far. They have a complete set of 7 chisels for $565. I think that's a really good buy. You know, a little bit under $100 a chisel. This PMV11 steel, I just can't say enough good things about it. It holds an edge really well, and it sharpens up great. The last one is going to be the power tool section. Another sander. The Mercaderos. I am a big Festool fan, and I had the Festool Rotex for about 2 years before I purchased the sander. I wasn't a huge fan of switching over to the Merca, but after trying it and seeing the benefits of it, I think it's a great sander. The ergonomics of it are amazing. The Abernet paper works really well. Now, this isn't a cheap sander. This retails for about $625, but I think it's well worth it. If you're looking for a sander in that price range, for an everyday sander, I think the Mercaderos is your way to go. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I really hope you found this information beneficial to you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below in the comment section. You will also find all the links to my website and my social medias down below, as well as all the links to the items I discussed today. 2020 has been a little bit of a rough year, but hopefully we could finish it on a strong note. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you and your family. Have a great day.